I'm Aslam, author, educator, podcaster.
And I am Shao Khan, Conqueror of Realms, and Emperor of Outworld!
In each of us, there burns a soul of a warrior. In every generation, a few are chosen to prove it. In a tournament called Mortal Kombat.
I'm pleased my summons was taken seriously.
Today I'm here with Hollywood actor Jeff Meek, who had many starring roles, including playing both protagonist Raiden and antagonist Shao Khan in the Mortal Kombat Conquest series, which I actually grew up watching. Jeff has since launched an actor studio where he trains young actors either face-to-face or online. As you can see, I kept this blue suit aside just for today. This is Raiden.
You look fantastic, by the way.
don't make me blush. But
yeah, you look great.
the day I messaged you was the day of my birthday, and I thought, look, feeling lucky.
Happy birthday.
Thank you very much. Shao Khan just said happy birthday to me. So, I want to jump straight into Mortal Kombat. What first drew you to Mortal Kombat?
Well, I auditioned for the part. First, I auditioned for the movie, actually, the first one.
I don't think so.
No, you didn't.
I did, and I tested with Cameron Diaz.
Sonya Blade.
And we both didn't get the part. I was auditioning for Johnny Cage, actually.
Dance.
I was much younger, you know, because the movie was quite a few years before the television series. So, and I really enjoyed.
I didn't know this.
I actually tested for it, and I didn't get the part. It was Ashby.
This is where you fall down.
Strangely enough, I went and did a soap opera in New York like years later, 2007, and he and I were auditioning for the same part on the soap opera, and I got the part on the soap opera. And he
Where do you get these guys?
So anyway, I ended up auditioning for Raiden for the television series. I went in like 6 times. I was wondering, are they going to hire me for this or not?
Why do they never listen to me?
So finally on the 6th, 7th time that I came into audition, I was testing for it, and there was all the Mortal Kombat crew there. There was the director, there was the writers, everybody was there in the room. So I knew it was the final call. They were going to make a decision.
What was your audition? How did it go?
I was doing a scene, the first couple of scenes that were in the pilot.
I am Raiden, God of Thunder, protector of the Earthrealm. Not an easy job, believe me.
It's not, but it's a good one.
It's time to commit, Cutlow, to a destiny you've trained your whole life for. Here, you are ready. Physically, there's no fighter your equal, but here is your weakness, doubts lurking in your head. Since you were a boy, Kung Lao, I have known that a great and powerful warrior resides in your soul. Your victory will come from an unwavering belief in yourself. That and a little luck.
And then it went really well. And then I saw the casting director, Fern Champion, she turned to the director and they started whispering in each other's ear. And I'm going, okay, I didn't get the part. You know, my head was going, I didn't get it, you know. And so she said, here, take this script and go read this other part. And so my heart, I kind of went, oh, I really wanted to play Raiden.
Yeah. Did it say Shao Khan in the upper scripts?
And so I said, what's the part? And they said, Shao Khan. I didn't know who Shao Khan was. I didn't, and so I said, and now I'm upset, okay? And so they said, why don't you go outside and read it and everything? And I said, no. And they went, what? I'll read it right now while I'm standing here. And now I've been called in 6 times. I was a little irritated, and so it's perfect for Shao Khan.
What were the lines? Can you remember what he asked you to do?
I can't remember the lines, but I know that it was a scene that Shao Khan had with one of the other characters in the pilot. And so she gave me, she said, can you go outside and work on it for a few minutes? And I went, no, I'll just read it here if you guys want to make any adjustments. And I was done. I have
a feeling that it was that part maybe when, because Shao Kahn hasn't got a lot of many scenes in the pilot, but one of the pivotal scenes are when Shang Tsung is brought to you, and then you say,
You are forever known as outcast. Failure. Now remove this vermin from my sight.
It might have been, Aslam, it might have been. Yeah, I can't remember exactly what the scene was, but yeah. And so I have the script, and I'm reading with the reader, and my only thought was, I'm going to scare the hell out of you. That was it. And so I conjured it up, and I just let him have it.
My enemy walks right into my throne room and takes what they want, and you do nothing! Get out. Do you hear me? I will have my revenge! I will have my revenge!
And then they did the whispering thing again, where she was whispering to the, and then she goes, would you like to play both characters? And I went, what? She said, we want you to play Raiden. I said, oh, wow, okay. And we want you to play Shao Kahn as well. And I went, well, do I get paid for both? And they said, yeah. So I said, absolutely, sign me up.
You will bow to me. Never. You will.
Stay where you are.
You can't stop me, Raiden. No one can.
I said stay back. I found your invasion route, now remove it.
But it served its purpose. The day of reckoning is here, Raiden. Enemies will fall. Names will be erased from memory.
You can do nothing.
Will you stop me?
Yes, I am Raiden, God of Thunder! Protector of Earthrealm.
And I am Shao Khan, Conqueror of Realms.
that's amazing.
No, it's so fun. I'd never had a chance to play dual characters in a series, and that was just absolutely spectacular. So, and then they flew me out to Florida, and I got an apartment there in Celebration. It was right across the street from MGM Disney in Florida, in Orlando. Kissimmee is the name of the town. And so all I had to do was drive across the little bridge and get to the studio. It was like 5 minutes away.
It was like it must have been like a nice long holiday, like.
It was brilliant. They had a great golf course there. They had a beautiful gym. They had, lakes and places to walk. It was just fantastic. A lot of the other actors didn't like that, Celebration, because it looked a little bit too much like, the Truman Show. You ever see the Truman Show with
I've taught the Truman Show.
Yeah, and so it felt a little like that. It was actually designed, that Celebration, the Disney planned community, was designed by the same guy that designed the Truman Show. And so it looks very Stepford, it's very sort of perfect.
In case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. And the next day, it's the same spiel.
The other actors in the show, they thought it was a little creepy, but I liked it. And I just rode around everywhere with my bald head and my sunglasses with a...
You've got to send, I would love to, if you have any photographs, you've got to send them over to me. I want to overlay it during...
I'd be happy to.
Very few photos of that stuff online.
So I had the best time. It was so much fun. It was just like a great vacation. They built this beautiful set, and the writers were great. I thought the material was good. I thought the other actors were fabulous.
That throne, was that from the movie, Shao Kahn's throne? Because it's quite impressive.
They built it directly for me in the show. It was really, it's very powerful to sit in too. It wasn't hard to get into character sitting in that throne.
I go into your Shao Kahn if ever I'm keeping kids back for detention, and I sit like, and they turn up for detention, and I sit like this, with the blinds down a little bit, and I say, yeah, I have to deal with you.
Besides, you never make it to the opening. You'd have to go through me.
Yeah. I have to deal with you.
They're terrified because they don't know that I have. Once they get to know me, that facade falls off. But when they're new, I do a bit of Shao Kahn, right?
Oh, that's great. I'm glad I could be of service. There's
a part in that last episode where Raiden's on his knees and you say, "You will bow to me."
Yes.
And then they make him bow, and you're like, you're just standing there looking at him, right? And he's terrified, right? I sometimes, if I see a bit of homework that hasn't been done correctly, I just stand like Shao Kahn, like grimacing over it, and they're like, "Oh no, he's not very happy, is he?" Right?
Yeah, that scene was fun to play too. They let me write a lot of some of my dialogue.
You know why that the whole bowing thing is happening? That in the game, to beat Shao Kahn, you've got to crouch down and wait for him to do his attack. And after he does his charge, like he's vulnerable, you can uppercut him. So you're kind of bowing to him. So that last episode, you came out right, and you're like, "You will bow to me." And he goes, "Never." And you're like, "You will." And you step through the portal, and then, "Oh, what's going to happen?" Right?
That was the end. That's the last shot of me hitting the screen, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So you do the sword thing. My brothers and I made this martial arts fight. I was 17. I could kick about this high, right?
Oh, great.
It was a Matrix fan film, and our fights in that film were inspired by the fight scenes in your show.
Oh, fantastic. Good for you, man.
Yeah, some of the moves we took directly from your series.
Congratulations. That's fantastic.
We do the part, when you grab Raiden by his throat, he grabs you back.
Good for you, man. Yeah, I think it's important to express yourself this way.
It's so cool.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun doing martial arts and films and a lot of action.
I went to a video shop and it said Mortal Kombat Final Battle. What? Came home, right? Watched that last episode.
Yeah, me fighting myself.
Compassion. Friendship. It's going to kill all of you.
How much of Shao Kahn have you got left in you?
Oh, it's there. I mean, we all have a little Shao Kahn in us, right?
But you weren't always like that. What happened? Did you change them? Or did they change you?
What do you care?
Curious. So tell me, do you preach the same message to them that I give to my warrior?
You're rambling. What message?
Know your enemy. Find his weakness. Exploit it. It's a smart move, isn't it?
When I was playing the part, and I was playing both, sometimes I had to work and play both characters in the same day. Well, it's very difficult, the different vocal qualities to the character, as you know. And so it took me like maybe a half an hour, 45 minutes to get my voice in the right place to play Shao Kahn. You have to really warm up for that. Because it's like an octave difference between the two characters.
The vocals, most people, they think the makeup and costume is gonna help them get away with it, but your voice was what?
That show was just really, truly amazing. It was. I would go and watch the other fighters. Just even if I wasn't working, I'd show up sometimes and watch the choreography because they were so good. They're some of the greatest martial arts in the world.
Yeah. I mean, they were on point.
Oh, spectacular athletes.
Some of them were like Shang Tsung had a stunt double, right? So he'd do some of the higher kicks.
Yeah, but he worked really, really, really hard.
Pathetic or not, your soul is mine.
To do as much as they could.
The character of Zero, I forgot what's the actor's name. It escapes my mind now.
Yes, he was like 7-time world champion in karate. Daniel Bernhardt. Yeah, spectacular martial artist. Yeah, so strong too. He was just he's not small. You know, Daniel's a big guy. He's not small. But he moved like a cat. You know, really wonderful, and it's such a sweet guy. What a wonderful cast. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. It makes me feel good that I know that somebody enjoys the work and, you know, had a good time playing with your brothers and enjoying it.
As in my role as a teacher, I take a lot from your Raiden, you know, because Raiden doesn't tell Kung Lao what to do. He advises him.
Right.
What's wrong with me? Good question. One I keep asking myself. So how about an answer? Talk to me. What's going on?
They're back.
Who's back?
The visions. I thought I was finished with them.
Oh. Not a chance. Not while you're still afraid.
I'm not afraid, Raiden. Not of dying.
Then what?
Of failing.
Not the first guy to be given responsibility, Kung Lao.
Maybe I don't want it.
Tough. You've got it. Do you think it's possible there might be someone out there who's as good, or dare I say it, better than you?
And he lets Kung Lao make up his own mind. And that's the best method of teaching.
Right. We talked about that a lot. We talked about that a lot with the writers. They said, you know, I don't think, you know, he doesn't tell him what to do. I think he needs to talk in parables, like as if he's, you know, a real mentor. Somebody that allows you to kind of figure it out for yourself. But it gives him advice on, you know, watch out for this, you know, watch out for that. You know, it's I just, you know, in my relationship with Paolo, who played Kung Lao, it was just, he's such a good guy too. We were just, you know, we were all very good friends while we were off camera too.
Do you see that your entire realm is at stake? It's the burden you must carry. And today, you nearly lost everything. For what? For Cary. You better start learning to care for all of humanity before it's too late.
It was a great gift to be able to play both parts in one show. It was really quite fun.
The internet, right, is all about this is the greatest division of Raiden and Shao Khan. And I love Christopher Lambert.
That's so kind. I mean, there's such.
But you know that, right? I hope you know that.
No, I didn't know that. That's really very kind. Thank you. I appreciate that.
He's clever, theatrical, ruthless, powerful, and dominant. And actor Jeffrey Meek, who plays him, totally owns the role.
Great Shao Khan. End this now.
How dare you beg for death!
Sorcerer released your soul only to see you defeated and humiliated. It was I who was able to retrieve you from Netherrealm.
To lead my own.
To lead in my name. You can be returned to your agony at any time, creature. Bow to me.
Yes, Emperor.
Now go do your job.
Very interesting. Well, you know, when I was playing Raiden, everybody wanted to talk to Raiden on the set. Nobody wanted to talk to Shao Khan.
One of my favorite lines, right? I don't know if you remember. I think it's from the last episode. So my brothers and I, we're only a few years apart. One's a lawyer, one's a pharmacist now, one works for the internet companies, Sky. But we grew up in the same house and all together. So whenever one of us is going off to find something like not the old PlayStation game, I've got Mortal Kombat right here, right? But some of the old games, there was a computer shop called CEX Computer Exchange, and it's a bit of like a lottery what you're going to find there. So whenever one of us went off, we'd always say happy hive hunting, and that's your line.
Happy hive hunting.
I love
don't know
it.
if you remember that line, but it's from
I love doing it. It was really so fun. I'm sorry that the show didn't keep going. You know, we were all I left all my stuff in Florida because I thought we were coming back.
You don't keep any of the masks or anything?
I do have a mock-up of the mask somewhere.
I'd love to see that. As a tribute to you, I grabbed things from. In Qatar, it's a bit hard to find Mortal Kombat fans, but this is a Sub-Zero mask that someone lent me just for our little podcast.
Oh, fantastic!
Just a little prop. I'm gonna have to return it.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, there were some great martial artists on that show. Whoo, man, there were some amazing athletes.
You had Chris Casamassa as Scorpion, right? He came back.
Yeah. Chris is a great martial artist. Really sweet guy too. Amazing guy.
I wanted to see more of your. When that show ended, Jeff, and I saw that you're a true martial artist, I was like, why didn't they let Raiden fight? I know you're not allowed to fight because you're Raiden, you know. And there's that part when Shang Tsung strikes Kung Lao and you turn up, someone broke a rule. And you zap the gate. But that's about it. And then I was like, what untapped potential when I saw that last fight. You know, I know it back to front, that fight. I know the choreography, and I know you choreographed it. So you'll know some of the moves, you know. I did want to ask you also about, I bet there's a lot of stuff left on the cutting room floor, right, of that fight?
There was some, we did some ratchet stuff and some cable stuff that never made it into the fight for some reason. I don't know, because I was flying around and doing all kinds of stuff with...
Did you do the Raiden
Right, and there was some more lightning stuff. There was a lot of different, you know, we took a whole day to shoot that. It was really about an 8-hour shoot just to do, because I had to change costumes and so did my stunt double. And so, you know, when you have your back to, it was not me, it was my stunt double. He was actually the fight choreographer.
Really?
Yeah. And so I asked him, I said, can I do the choreography? I also wanted it to be a theme, you know, I wanted some dialogue in between, I wanted some weapons, I wanted, you know, I wanted it to be really a culmination of the season. And so they at least gave me the luxury if I was, you know, because I didn't fight a lot in the show, which is, you know, was fine with me, but because there were so many other great martial artists far better than me. But he allowed me to have this moment where I was fighting myself in the culmination of the first season. And I just thought that it was going to be a lot more elaborate. They ended up cutting it down quite a bit, actually, but yeah, we did a lot of ratchet stuff. And
in the end credits, you see some of the snippets of stuff that's not in the fight. If you ever watch the end credits on YouTube, there's some of those really fast punches between Shao Khan and Raiden, and they put it into the end credits just in the last couple of seconds before it cuts off.
Oh, interesting. I don't know if I saw that.
Yeah. And I was like, hey, I didn't see the end fight, you know. So
yeah, that's cool.
It brought the show to where it needed to be, because I was telling my students today, I'm like, guys, this guy Jeff, I'm talking to him today. They were like, sir, we're so excited. I was like, yeah. I said, he's the only show where the bad guy wins and it stays that way.
Go back to Outworld. You're already in Outworld. You gave me the time, Raiden. Time to transport you and your friends, an entire city. You are now in my realm.
What was going to be the plot of when it came back?
I think it's just, you know, I didn't know what the scripts were, but I knew what the idea was, is that Raiden, of course, was going to turn the tables on Shao Khan, and, you know, but that never came to fruition. We just wanted a cliffhanger at the end of the first season. And so what had happened is, I don't know if you know that, what happened, we were planning on coming back. The ratings were great. But there was a financial issue that was going on because I think that the line producer had forgotten to put in all the residual money that was paid to the actors, which came out to quite a bit of money, and nobody wanted to pay for it, so they ended up canceling the show.
How could this have happened?
The opening scene of Mortal Kombat Season 2, right? What would Raiden say?
How the hell do I get out of this mess?
How would he narrate the next scene? What would you say?
Yeah, I don't know. I probably, you know, I think if I was going to talk to the writers about it, I'd probably have him in some horrible state where he's been abused beyond belief, and then maybe tells a joke to he's probably in some sort of underworld prison somewhere. I can imagine that could be pretty horrible. And he's in hell, you know, and so I would say that probably you're going to be talking to someone that is going to be a guard, or it's going to be Shao Khan. Shao Khan comes and visits him in his cell.
Why don't we do some role play? I'll be Shao Khan. I don't mind being Shao Khan. I could be Shao Khan.
Yeah, and he would probably say something to Shao Khan, you know, that would be funny.
It's been many years, Raiden. You've languished in this cell. And yet, I see a smile. Why? Why do you put up with the suffering?
Well, it beats crying.
Do you think your Earthrealmers will save you? You are now in my world.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm already in the Earthrealm.
They're all dead, Raiden. All your champions. All your rules are all gone. No one has come to save you. And no one ever will.
Oh, well. At least I had some fun.
End scene. Opening credits for Season 2. That's so good. Maybe we can get AI to recreate that with some drawings, you know? Wouldn't that be so cool?
Yeah, it'd be fun. It'd be fun to do it again.
How long has it been since we last went face to face like this?
Centuries.
In all that time, have you ever thought what it would be like if you had joined us? If we had stood side by side?
I would have loved to have been close enough to destroy you.
I have great fond memories of playing Shao Kahn. However, it was very lonely. I would walk on as Raiden with the whole wig and everything, and everybody wanted to party with Raiden. Everybody. All the set, all the crew, everybody that was on the set always wanted to talk and play with Raiden. As soon as I walked out as Shao Kahn, I was alone.
You were so terrifying. I mean...
Oh, no, it was just, he was a sick puppy.
How did he get so big? I mean, when you stood up, right? It's terrifying because you had the spikes, you've got the chainmail here.
Yeah, I like the costume. We kind of designed it together. I got together with the makeup artist, and I got together with the prop guy, and we just kind of came up with a mask. You know, I really wanted something kind of, sort of ancient, and so we just came up with a skull mask, and then I put some weird straps on it. There was actually, he used forks, the forks in the mask, and then I just did some work on my eyes. We had some colored my eyes and stuff, and I shaved my head. I told the because it's easier to put the wig on with a shaved head.
What was your take on on Christopher Lambert, who played Raiden, on Brian Thompson, who played Shao Kahn?
Well, I have some really fun ideas about that. I'm a big fan of Chris Lambert, by the way.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
And I thought he was terrific as Raiden.
The essence of Mortal Kombat is not about death, but life.
One of you three will decide the outcome of the tournament. The fate of billions will depend upon you. Sorry.
I also got a chance, I auditioned for a movie with him, and so I got to meet him and tell him that. He was so cool. You know what he said to me? I said, you know, you were so intense in the Tarzan movie. Did you know this movie?
Yeah, I've seen Tarzan. He's very intense and you really sense that he's a fish out of water when they bring him back to civilization. You think he really doesn't belong here. This is not.
Yeah, he was really great. I said, you have this really great intensity. He goes, you know, I'm blind. And I went, what? And he says, I can't see without my glasses, so I wasn't trying to act. I was trying to see. And I thought that was fantastic. How great is that? His frailty is what actually made him that much more intense, you know. And then he was so nice and kind to me. So I got a chance to see him because I was a big fan of his before I even met him. And I got a chance to, you know, work with him briefly with, you know, it was a test for a movie that I didn't end up getting the part, but he was so kind and generous to me. Brian and I went to school together.
No, you didn't. No, you did not.
We did.
The earth was created in 6 days, so too shall it be destroyed. And on the 7th day, mankind will rest in peace.
And he was, one day he was giving me a lot of crap on this. He was challenged. Brian's big and tough, you know. He's a football player. He played football in Washington. He was a tough, big guy, you know.
Yeah. Well, your Shao Khan was more terrifying than his, and that is unanimous. And I love Brian.
Well,
Brian was amazing in the movie.
He was on the stage with me, and we were rehearsing, and he was talking in my ear, talking crap. You know, just he was playing with me. He was challenging me but he was challenging me as a man. And so I just said, knock it off, or I'm going to knock you out. And he kept doing it. And so I turned to him and just punched him in the stomach. Now I feel bad about doing it.
Well, Shao Khan punching Shao Khan, I think that cancels each other out.
It's hilarious in retrospect, right? Now Brian and I are still good friends. And so he went down in a heap. He fell to the ground, and he said, I had surgery and they removed part of my intestine. And so you hit me in the most vulnerable spot in my entire body.
Oh, poor Brian.
And I felt terrible. And so I apologized.
Come bow at my feet.
And he and I play golf together. We've gone on celebrity golf tournaments together. It's so, but I grew up with him in the business. You know, he was playing, he was actually working at Universal Studios for a while after college.
Yeah, he's been in quite a few movies.
Well, he got called into a Stallone movie called Cobra.
Yeah, yes.
And he ended up playing the bad guy in Cobra. And that started his career. It was a Stallone film.
Yes.
You know, he did all kinds of stuff.
Nothing clean, right?
Nothing clean, right?
What did you think of his version of Shao Khan?
I thought he did great.
No, got it!
Surrender, Raiden, or this one dies.
Then I will take your generals, because Earth does not bend to the will of tyrants.
You who would never let one of your precious humans die.
But I think the plot undermined him because as soon as you give the arch villain someone on top, it undermines them because he had Shao Kahn's dad and Shinnok, and I think had he not been in it, then Shao Kahn would have been terrifying.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think you're right. I think there's something to be said about that. But Brian's a really terrific actor, and
I can't believe you went to school together. That's blown my mind.
No, we're really, really close. In fact, I've stayed over at his house. We have, we're real friends. We're still to this day. And so we've traveled to celebrity golf tournaments together, and
You have to, the fact that both of you know each other, I would love to see a picture of the two of you. You've got,
and that we both played Shao Khan.
yeah,
That's bizarre.
that's fate, Jeff. You know, that's
What is the odds of that?
there isn't. I don't believe in coincidences.
It's so bizarre.
And very few people on the earth have. I think they've cast a new one. I think it's like they don't understand, Hollywood, that the depth of Shao Kahn's character isn't about the big brawn and the muscles. He has to have gravitas.
Totally.
You know,
It's a good word.
He has to have gravitas. Just him standing alone should be terrifying. And so they've cast this big guy. I hope he does the character justice, because which leads me on to my next question. What did he make of the games? So in the games, they've taken a bit of cinematic quality now. You can just watch the cutscenes. You don't have to play the game or anything. Have you seen any of those?
I haven't seen the recent ones, but I played the game before I got the part.
Yeah.
And I loved playing. I would pick Raiden all the time. I actually played Raiden before I played Raiden.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
Actually, here's another bit of fate. I'm wearing blue sitting here. You're Raiden. The first time I went to an arcade when Mortal Kombat 2 came out, you know, I had a quarter, right? And I went to the arcade machine, put my coin in, played with my brother. I think I lost. He went on to fight the computer and he played up against Raiden. And we were like, wow, this guy's so crazy, because it was our first time seeing the character. And Raiden beat him because the arcade is cranked up too high. He done that thing, you know, it's terrible. And then to see you do that, I am Raiden, God of Thunder. I was like, wow, he done the thing from the game. So I'm sure you were aware you were doing the thing from the game when you did that in the episode.
Yeah, no, I didn't know that at all. Yeah, that's great. That's great. It's really fun. I did some of the voiceover stuff for some of it, but not much.
I would love for you to come back either as Raiden or as Shao Khan in the games. So a couple of years back, the characters from the first Mortal Kombat, they came back. They digitized their faces and put their faces into the characters, and they came and they did voiceover for some of the lines. You know, so Christopher Lambert came back. He done all Raiden's lines as his Raiden.
Yet again, you betray Earthrealm.
Are you surprised, Raiden?
Only that it took you so long.
Lyndon Ashby came back, done his Johnny Cage lines.
It's showtime.
Sonya came back. What's her name? Sonya, the actress for Sonya.
The fate of billions is in your hands.
So stand down and let me pass.
Would you ever come back for the game and do some lines?
Absolutely.
Yeah. We've got the internet. We have to make that happen. I'm going to tag Ed Boon to this.
I'd love to come back and do another part of the series and pick it up where we left off, if anybody had the wherewithal to do it. But I might be a little, long in the tooth now, and I'm a little older now, but I can still play it. I mean, it's not, Raiden is, is a universal age, really. He's got this long silver hair. I probably don't need a wig. I can just grow my hair out. But I would love it. I love it. It's so much fun. Also, too, there's such a following. It's just amazing how the longevity of that game has just been extraordinary.
I think that some of the games took from when they constructed Shao Khan in the more recent ones, they took from your Shao Khan.
What if I step through that portal right now?
The Elder Gods would destroy you.
You're sure?
All these ages you have fought me. You denied me my rightful claim. Not this time. fear me now.
That even the Elder Gods will be forced to respect me and fear me.
Their pathetic mortal combat shackles me no longer.
Time to transport you and your friends.
There's a part in the game, right? So I'll tell you the story. It was, we were kids. It was Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks. And in Shaolin Monks, you're supposed to play through the first Mortal Kombat game and you get to Shang Tsung at the end, right? So we beat Shang Tsung, you play as 2 characters. I picked Liu Kang and my brother picked Kung Lao, right, from your series. So we're playing it through. We beat Shang Tsung, we think, oh, that's the end of that. Then the guy with 4 arms comes out, you gotta fight him. We beat him, and Shao Khan's there, and he's like,
There is something in you that makes me feel like a conqueror again.
Our friends! Where are our friends?
You can earn their freedom. Defeat me and they will be freed.
How can we defeat you?
You will die, mortal.
Your plans of conquering are over.
Earthrealm will be mine. It will fall as easily as Kung Lao.
oh snap! Because we weren't expecting it. I put the controller down, took his hammer out. Within about a couple of seconds, he beat me. And the way that Shao Khan has that kind of that jump and that rage, you know, I think they took a little bit from your Shao Khan.
Oh, good. Yeah, yeah, fun. Yeah, it's fun. I'll have to check it out. I'll have to check out the new game.
You weak, pathetic fool.
So much for your dreams of eternal empire.
Yet again you thwart me, Raiden.
As it was, as it is, as it shall be.
I think you'll hear a lot of your Shao Khan in there because.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I think you'll hear. And
yeah, it'd be nice if they were paying me for that.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, I think they should get you back.
Where is our master Raiden?
Ah, your master. You know his voice so well, yet know him almost not at all.
How many of the other cast members are you still in touch with?
All of them. You know, Bruce Locke and I are very dear friends. We play golf together all the time. He's a wonderful actor, a great friend. He's always there for me.
Isn't that the guy who played Shang Tsung?
Yeah. Yeah. Bruce Locke, terrific guy, just amazing, really smart. Paolo's still my friend.
Tell Kung Lao I would love to have him on. We'll make a little series out of this.
Kristana Loken is still my dear friend.
Yeah, tell her too. She was amazing. She made a character out of nothing. She didn't have a lot to go on. She made her own character.
Yeah, she's so sweet. What a lovely person.
I saw her at the Terminator 3 premiere. I went to it in London, and she came out, and they were like, and she came out in this dress, and she played, you know, the T3 Terminatrix. So she didn't see me, but if you can get any one of them to come on, I would love to talk to them because.
Yeah, yeah, why not? Yeah, of course. Get
the whole band together. He had a tough job, Bruce, as well, because he was going off the Shang Tsung from, both of you did. You were going off, you know, your competition, as it were, was Chris Lambert. His was...
oh, that was Cary Tagawa?
It's a lot of fun story. I was at Comic-Con and I saw him sat on a table. He had the skin tight vest on which looked like he had tattoos all over, just like in that movie with Brandon Lee, right? I was like, and I had this neighbor with me. He goes, "That's Shang Tsung, man." I was like, and he was bald, so I didn't recognize him. That is Shang Tsung. So I went up to him. I said, and he didn't have a long queue because everyone was there for like Marvel and so on. So he didn't have a lot of people. So I went up to him. I said, "Excuse me, it's quite terrifying." I was like, you play Shang Tsung? He's lovely real life. He goes, "Yeah." He said, "How are you?" I was like, "Can you know," I was about 17, so being 17, I was like, "Can you?" And back then, phones didn't have cameras like this, right? It's just camera like that. I said, can you say into the camera, your soul is mine? He goes, yeah, sure, come on, get closer to me. So then he grabbed me, right, looked straight at the camera, and he goes right into character. He goes,
your soul is mine.
And I swear to you, I got shivers. I was like, I wasn't sure if my soul had left my body or not, because I had to just have a quick check, like a quick pat down, like, am I still
Yeah, it's
here?
so great that you had that experience with Cary. Cary and I, he played the bad guy in my pilot for Raven. That's how we met. And we just became friends. He's an amazing guy, really good actor.
Isn't it amazing, Jeff, that Mortal Kombat has brought all of you together, and had you, the threads had been connected with you and Brian since you were in high school? You know, that's crazy.
Well, college. I met him. I met him. I think I was. I must have been a junior. Maybe I was a senior. I don't remember exactly. But we were in the same college. We went to UC Irvine, and went to the drama school at UC Irvine together. So he's, you know, we were hanging out all the time. We were friends, you know. So
any pictures you can send me, I would love to include them in the podcast. Honestly, I'll overlay.
Yeah, I'll reach out to them. I'm sure that they're really great people. They're not the least bit encumbered, but I'm sure you'll get at least. I know Bruce will.
Yeah, I would love to. Bruce's Shang Tsung was amazing. So there's a line he does in the pilot, which is your will is weak, Kung Lao, soon to break. And then he's like, pathetic or not, your soul is mine. And you know, I remember I saw an interview where he said that he was doing the audition for, I think it must have been that scene where, I think that was the audition scene. So that scene where he's brought to you and then you say, you are forever known as outcast, a failure. And I removes run from my side. And then he stands up and he goes, I will die. And his line was just to utter it, but he really screamed it. And he thought, oh God, I've messed this up. And when he went home, they said, that rage was what convinced us that you were going to be our Shang Tsung. And so I think that was a deciding moment for both of you, that audition scene.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. You know what's really weird about the audition too is that I didn't audition with any other actors. Yeah, it was just individual. It wasn't. I don't remember ever doing scene work with anybody. It was all just me going and doing scene work with the reader.
I would love to see your audition tape. If that was out there, I swear, not just me, the internet of Mortal Kombat.
I don't think there were video. They didn't back in the day. They didn't have that. You know, we just did it live in a room with a bunch of the other, you know, the reader and the casting director and some of the other directors and the people from Mortal Kombat. There's about maybe 10 or 15 people in there. My final audition.
Who did you prefer to play, Jeff? Shao Khan or Raiden?
Well, it was a lot of fun playing Shao Khan, but he was, again, I reiterate, it's pretty lonely. Nobody would approach Shao Khan or talk to him on the set. However, when I was playing Raiden, it was just, he was the life of the party. You know, everybody wanted to party with Raiden.
He has like so much power, but you played him off as so blasé. It's brilliant, you know, he's so blasé.
Yeah, he's just so fun. You know what I was thinking about? I was saying, you know, why is he I kept asking myself when I was playing him, so why does he like the Earthrealm so much? And it's because it's got all this, it's got beauty, it's got, humans are funny.
He finds them humorous. He does find them humorous.
Yeah, he's amused all the time.
There's a scene where Kristan Logan's character, I think she fires an arrow, it nearly hits him.
Also, I played Shao Kahn as his brother.
Yes.
You know, they were twins.
That was a movie. That was an idea carried on from the movie, wasn't it? The brothers.
You should have killed me when you had the chance, brother.
Yeah, so I had come up with this idea that they were twins, and that they got separated, and one, you know, choose one path and one choose the other. It was Cain and Abel, you know. It was a very, and so Shao Kahn was just trying to find ways that he could better his brother.
Yes, I've got 5 brothers, so I completely understand sibling rivalry. I've been there.
Yeah, it was big. I have a brother too that's 2 years older than me.
Do you have any favorite scenes or moments as either character?
Well, I think that the fight that I did at the end of the series was probably the most focused fun I had physically, because the fight was pretty elaborate. And as you know, both Shao Khan and Raiden didn't get a chance to fight much throughout the series.
I don't know if you can see this, but I don't know if you can see this little Raiden figure that I've got in the back.
I love it. Where'd you get that?
I got this in it's like a little comic shop, Virgin Megastore. And so they had it, you know, and I was like, I'm talking to...
but it's actually Raiden, is that figure?
Yeah, right there, if you can see it, right?
That's fantastic. I got a couple of little dolls of me, and you know, when they did the whole marketing stuff, it's really kind of funny.
Do you have anything there? Any props or anything paraphernalia?
I don't have anything like available. I got it in a box somewhere in the garage or something, you know. Yeah, but I have, you know, an old... They did a mold of my face in order to create the mask, and so I have that. That was given to me by the makeup artist. But I have, you know, let's see, what else do I have? I don't think I have much else in terms of... Oh, I have my chair with the Mortal Kombat logo on the back of it. I have a jacket from Mortal Kombat.
Wow.
Which I love. Let's see, what else do I have? I don't think I have many other props from it, but I do have the mask, and I have, you know, like maybe an original script.
This is that's a katana mask.
Oh yeah.
There's a scene where, you know, where you say, let's see what treasures we have for our guest. And you open the treasure chest, right?
Ah. A traitor. Dead. 2 sorcerers. Dead.
A daughter. You're like, dead.
A daughter. Dead.
Because you're angry because you like your daughter, right? And that scene is brilliant, you know. So I was like, I've got to... The fact that I've been able to do this to you, to show you, to recreate that scene of daughter.
That's marvelous.
Dead.
How fun.
I got this blade from them as well, you know. I'm Shao Khan, Conqueror of Realms.
I'm Shao Khan, Conqueror of Realms.
When they brought back the Mortal Kombat games with Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, I was doing my A-levels. I remember distinctly, because in that game there's a, you know, Mortal Kombat's normally a fighting game, but there's a little walk around game where you can walk around and unlock Shao Kahn's treasure chests and so on, and it's called Mortal Kombat Conquest. I don't know if you know.
Oh, I don't know that. That's cool.
There's a conquest mode in Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance and in Mortal Kombat Deception, and that's a huge tribute to what you guys did.
To war! We are at war!
I did this course at university. It was called Text Art Performance, and it was about how texts are then performed, and in that performativity, that's a process of art. You know, it can be different forms of art. You know, and my portfolio was about how was what is life. And I said, life's not black, and I looked at Batman, which I know you actually went for an audition for, and you said that you played Batman as Shao Khan, and you might have terrified Tim Burton a little bit.
Yes, I auditioned for Batman, the original movie.
What line did it ask you to do? I'm Batman. What did you do?
Me and Tim Burton. And so I was in the room with Tim Burton and Marion Doherty, who was the casting director for Universal. Was it Universal? Yeah, I think it was Universal. And I came in with The Dark Knight. And he went... We were just doing scenes from the original movie. And I thought of him as, you got to be pretty screwed up to be putting on a costume and going out and beating up bad guys in the middle of the night and then having a totally different alter ego.
I think you were too early. I think when Christian Bale did it, that's exactly what he done. He channeled
Christian
Shao
Bale
Khan.
played the same character that I auditioned with. And it was very Shao Khan, and it was both of those. It was really kind of setting up Mortal Kombat, because I was playing Bruce Wayne, who was Raiden, and he had a sense of humor, and he was really kind of a nice, beautiful Earthrealm guy. And then Batman, who was Shao Khan. And so when I was Batman, I was Batman. And so it scared I think it kind of scared Tim when I did it a little bit, and he was kind of taken back because he wanted to do Michael Keaton. He was doing Beetlejuice, and yeah, and so that was a different animal altogether. But that's what I brought to it, and I think it was eventually that's how the character ended up unfolding later on.
They actually got me to teach a bit of drama, and it was fun actually. And I wanted to ask you about your acting studio, because it's weird teaching acting. I can teach English all day long, but you have to show acting, and then you have to ask them, well, what do you want from this scene? What reel do you want to show when you in this scene? It's only to high school kids, but they take a lot from it, and even the badly behaved kids would focus, because they got to express themselves really, not just writing something down.
It's really powerful. Yeah, it's very powerful working. That's why it's so important, I think, for people to be in the arts too. Even if you're not going to pursue a career in it, it's really useful to be able to help you with your communication and being social. And I was kind of shy when I was a kid, and so I wanted to, kind of get out of myself. And it was a really useful way for me to express myself in a way that I otherwise couldn't do very well. So you teach too, huh?
Yeah. I teach English to grade 7 right through to high school before they go off to university.
Fantastic. I love teaching, by the way. I do teach as well. I taught at the LA Film School for a while, and I have my own private stuff.
I want to ask you about that, because
I love it. I love it. I really enjoy the process of, I'm an actor. I love acting, and I love the process, the craft of it. And I love, people that are trying to learn how to be a better artist, a better actor. It's a lot of fun for me. I just really enjoy that process. My mother was a teacher too. She taught English in high school. Yeah, she was a junior high school teacher.
Yeah.
So she was teaching like 7th and 8th graders, but
had them today.
It was fantastic, isn't it? All these young minds.
Those 2 boys in my class, and they were talking once, right? And I thought it was A and B. I thought it was A and B, it was actually B and C. A wasn't involved. So I turned around and I said, hey, A was in my first line. I said, you're staying behind. He goes, what? I didn't do anything. I said, yeah, don't deny it. You were talking, staying behind. So he stayed behind. I said, listen, you were talking. He goes, and he started crying. He goes, no, sir, I really wasn't. And I looked at him dead in the eye and I said, he's actually telling the truth. It's a very pivotal moment here, how I react. And, the teacher in me said, no, well, he's making it up. And I said, no, he's looking at me as an adult in his life. That look, I'm telling the truth. Is this how I'm rewarded for telling the truth? And I said, you know what? I think I might have got it wrong. He didn't talk, did you? He goes, no, sir. I said, go. You have no attention, no nothing, go. Thank you for telling me the truth. And now, for the rest of his life, he'll always remember telling the truth is rewarded and is valued.
You sound like a marvelous teacher, Aslam. You said you have such great ideas and how important it is, and that you know that you're shaping the future of these young men. They're going to be grown men soon, and it's so important for them, especially too, to have a grown male, being able to educate them as to what is right and wrong and how to behave. Communities are crumbling. It's because they don't have mentors. They don't have elder men that are looking into the eyes of these young men and seeing their souls, seeing them, really seeing them. You saw that young man and you honored it. You honored him. That is incredibly powerful. That is incredibly powerful. So I just, congratulations on being and understanding that. You really understand it. And so this is great teaching. This is great teaching. And I have such great respect for good teachers. There's a lot of bad ones, but there's a lot of good ones too.
Growing up in the 90s was a very different time, like So my brother and I once were walking down the road, we were 17, 18, and this guy pulled up in a car. He goes, "Hey, do you guys want to buy a laptop?" Now, in 1995, a laptop was a pretty big deal, right?
Sure.
So like, wow. So he goes, "Hey, here you go. Here's the laptop, here's the camera." I was like, "All right, look, we've got two minds. We're smart enough to figure this out." So he goes, "It's going to be about £200, which is about roughly $200 now." My brother goes, "I'm going to have to take it out for the bank." Because it's okay, I'll walk it to the bank. He walked with us, we took the money out, we went back to his car, and I watched him, Jeff, right? He took the laptop, put it into his bag, and I was like, "Yep, it's in that bag." We gave him the money. He then took the bag out from beneath his legs. He goes, here you go. Gave us the bag. And then he drove off. I said to my brother, let's have a look at it. He goes, no, let's get home. You know, it's not safe on the street. I said, all right. We went back home. And I was like, yeah, I'll go and get some, cola cans to celebrate. We got a really good deal on a laptop. And I hear my brother go, no. I was like, what? Turn around. He goes, and he had his head in his hand. What happened? He goes, he took out this Evian bottle full of sand. I was like, how? How did that happen?
He did a sleight of hand on you.
There were two bags, identical bags.
He sleight of handed you. Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah. So I tell my readers, I say, don't buy anything on the streets, because if a deal's too good to be true, it probably is.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, yeah, too bad. That's a good lesson, though.
Yeah, so I just put them in. So, Jeff, just stories that I wanted to tell. I kept telling my students all these stories. They're like, "Sir, you should write them down." So I was like, all right, I'm going to write it, guys, and you guys tell me if it's pants, okay? And then they said, this is really good, you should get it out there. I said, all right, so then I did. I just felt, even if it didn't sell a lot, Jeff, it's my stories are out there. I just wanted to.
A life worth living is a life worth recording. And so if you're doing a diary, you're talking about it, it's also, too, we're creating good story in our own lives. And so why not create a great one? Why not create a vibrant one that you're of contribution to your community, to the world, and that you feel like you're making a contribution that could be really quite fun? And you're a perfect example of this for me. I did that show in, 2000? It's been years, right? I mean, amazing. And here we are having a beautiful conversation about it and meeting each other for the first time. What a beautiful thing.
If you ever come to Qatar, Jeff, I will be your host. I swear to you,
I've always wanted to visit Qatar. I've always wanted to visit the Middle East, and I haven't. And I'm planning on doing it, though. I have some friends in Dubai.
Come to Dubai. I'll meet you there. I'll bring you over to Qatar. Honestly, Jeff, I'll take you to the best. The weather's lovely now. I don't know what it's like in the States now, but it's like a warm summer's breeze out there. I'm only home.
Oh, fantastic!
Lovely weather.
I would really, Aslam, I'd really enjoy that. If I ever get a chance to visit, I'll look you up and we'll have some tea and coffee or whatever, and hang out.
Absolutely. Like I said, anytime you come here, I will be your host.
It's fantastic, Aslam. Well, you have amazing energy, and you're such an open and kind and generous person, and you got so much enthusiasm and. You really come across great, man. It's nice meeting you. We're building story, we're building memories, good memories of something that's really meaningful and successful, and I really appreciate you and reaching out to me, and so you've now created another fan. I'm a fan of yours, so I really appreciate you. So thank you so much for reaching out and saying hello to me. It really means a lot to me.